All right, good morning. Welcome again to Mrs. Riffin's Business and Computers class. We are continuing to focus on using the Google Apps. I'm hoping that this will not only make you more adept at using them, and you can look at my weekly calendar to see our purpose for these lessons, but I'm also hoping that it'll help you with your other classes in case you have to use, again, any of these particular apps and don't know how to use some of the functions of them. So I'm going again into my drive, going to click on New, and I'm going to choose Google Sheets. If you haven't been with me before, I tend to go ahead and name my stuff so I don't forget. It's very easy to do in here because it auto saves for us. And this is going to be Google Sheets Activity 2. If you're going to share this instead of uploading it, please do add your name. Might be good just to add your name in case you have to go back and share it, or in case it doesn't show up for some reason. For those who have been uploading the assignments, it's been adding your name for me, or attaching it to it. So we're going to start. If you look at the activity PDF, we start by typing all the information in that set of cells before we can actually do any of the steps. And the first thing I want to do is select cells A through D1. I do that by clicking on the left-hand side of the mouse with that button and holding and gently sliding over to the right. Make sure you're not dragging, because otherwise you'll just drag from cell A to cell D1. It might take you a moment if you've never selected any cells in Excel or in Google Sheets, and that's fine. Practice with it if you need to. I want to go ahead and add that fill color. So I'm going to go up here and just choose the orange that's there. I also want to go ahead and expand these cells downward a little bit because it looks like they are larger. And then I'm going to click in cell A1 and add the text color that they have there by going all the way down here and choosing white. And then I can start typing. I'm not going to worry about what the font is. I'm just going to use the default font, which looks like it's Arial 10. Now it also looks like they did some text wrapping here. So I want to go to Format, and I want to wrap. And then it looks a little bit more similar to what was in there. Don't worry if yours doesn't match the PDF example exactly. And it looks like this second set of cells here is also a little bit wider, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that down. And then I'm going to type Monday. I'm going to type Tuesday. I'm going to type Wednesday. I'm not too worried about the fact that it's not sitting at the top. I'm just going to kind of leave that. So then I'm going to start typing the names of the candies, truffles, fudge, just the generic candy word there, chocolate bars, and cookies. Now it looks like they made this one text wrap as well. I'm not really worried about that simply because it's fitting in the cells the way that we have them. So I'm just going to kind of leave it. I'm going to type the numbers for 2696. I'm going to come over here and type the numbers 6, 2, 5, 8, 6, And then I'm going to say 31997. All right. Now, the steps ask that we select any cells we want to add. And then we're going to initially select Insert Function Sum. Pressing Enter is going to help us to add all of the numbers in the cells. Now, I also want you to practice using insert function average, insert function max, and insert function min, maximum and minimum, sorry, so that you will have practiced with all of those functions. Now, I tried this out ahead of time, and it seemed to me that the easiest way to accomplish all of this was to go ahead in here and 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and put sum down here. I'm going to kind of do it a little bit backwards, and then average, and I'm going to abbreviate that. I'm going to keep max abbreviated maximum and minimum abbreviated min. And I have a good reason for that. If I start out like it says on here and choose or select all of these first numbers under Monday, and I go up here and I click on insert and I scroll down and find function and click on it and open that menu. And then I click on sum and hit enter. Then it's added all of those cells together for me. Then if you hover over that line, it should give you that hand. It might take a little practice. Don't get frustrated. Just keep moving the mouse around until you see that hand appear, and then click with the left-hand side of the mouse, and you'll be able to grab onto that and drag it down to where it actually says sum. And then what I'm going to do with each of these is go sum, average, max, min, so that the last number that we do is in the right box or cell, the minimum cell. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to select these again. And again, don't get frustrated if it takes a little bit of practice. If you drag anything accidentally, remember from previous videos that I've made, the undo button can become your best friend. If you make a mistake, don't keep going, just hit undo, and then you won't be so frustrated. Now, if you have successfully selected again, I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to go to function. The next thing I want to do is average. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hit enter. That's another key thing, is don't forget to hit enter. But we want it to be under the correct placement. So we're going to, again, left click once we see the little hand, and we're going to drag that down to average. Again, don't let yourself get frustrated. If you've not done these types of things before, you usually have to be hovering over a line to get the hand. And so just practice until you see it. Like I say, as soon as you see it, you can left click and it'll let you drag. So I'm going to select one more time. Again, this is the most efficient way I could come up with to do this successfully and be less frustrated. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Insert, function. Now we want max. Okay. And I'm going to grab that and drag it down. And now the last one we're going to get is just going to stay there. Okay. And again, the purpose of all this is to be able to use all of these functions. Can we add all of these numbers together quickly? Can we find the average of all these numbers? Can we find the maximum of all these numbers? Can we find the minimum of all these numbers? Now, granted, with this small of a set of numbers, the maximum and minimum, you could probably just look at and figure out on your own. But I do want you to practice actually using those function buttons, because you might be asked to do something like this for a math class at some point in your life, or you might be asked to do this at a job at some point if you have a math-based job, and you will have a much larger set of numbers, I promise, that you won't want to just have to glance through. So one last time here with this set of numbers, I'm going to say insert. I don't know why I keep leaning towards format. I'm going to go to function, and I'm going to go to minimum, and I'm going to hit enter, and that's going to be in the correct cell. So all of this is the correct way to do it. Now, I'm going to come back here, and I think I'm going to make all of this bold just so it kind of stands out from the rest of that. Okay. All right. So we're going to do the same thing here under the Tuesday numbers. I'm going to select them. I'm going to go a little faster with some of this. I'm going to say insert. I'm going to say function. I'm going to start with sum. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to redo that because I messed it up somehow. All right. Function, sum, enter. Okay, I don't know why that freaked out when I clicked on it last time, but you'll see that those numbers added up to be the same number as the other. Don't worry about that. That was correctly done. All right, so we're going to come up here and select these again, and we want average this time. So insert, function, average, enter. It unbolded my stuff, so I'm going to have to redo that, but that's okay. I'm going to worry about that in a minute. All right, click select, insert, function, start with max, drag that down, and then last but not least, I'm going to go select, insert, function, min, enter. Okay, now I don't know why that unbolded. Other than I dragged that, and when I dragged it, I may have dragged all of those changes that I made from the cells. That's probably why. So I'm not going to worry too much if that happens again. I'll just rebold them afterwards. So here we're on the Wednesday numbers. I've selected them. I'm going to say insert. I'm going to say function. I'm going to start with sum again. I'm going to hit enter. That's a higher number, notice. Okay, we're going to drag that down. Going to select. Whoops, I don't want Wednesday. I'll confuse the poor calculator here. Insert, function. We're going to go to average. Hit enter. And drag this one down. Whoop, doesn't want to comply this time. Okay. Going to select. Going to insert. Function, max, hit enter, drag it down, and then one last time, insert, function, minimum. It didn't like that one this time. I know that's not right. So I don't know what I did there, but I made a mistake. So we're going to go back, re-highlight or select function, min. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. And I'm just going to select these again and make them bold again, just so they stand out. All right, and that is literally all there is. I did give you today and tomorrow to finish this. Just in case you have a lot to do, especially in your academic classes. So if you start this and can't finish it initially, that's okay. Just try to get it into me by Thursday. Don't forget to type. You're supposed to be typing about 5 minutes per day this week so that you have a total of 20 minutes. I will be waiting to check for that on Friday. So I'll probably be grading the stuff that was due on Tuesday, little by little. And by Friday, I'll grade the stuff that was due Thursday and Friday. So I hope you all are having a great week. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. Remember that you can upload this straight into the assignment. So on your end, you should have a button that says that you can add it or upload it. I don't have that student view, so I can't really show you that. Can't give you a visual. If for some reason you're not able to do that, you can, of course, always hit the share. You can always look for my name. You can always choose me and hit send, okay? But I don't want to send that to myself, so I'm going to just say that I'm done. But I hope you have a great rest of your week.